Semantic looking as confident as ever coming into this matchup.
I'm worried. I don't see any soundproofing on the walls there, and we know what Semantic is going to be doing. Neighbors, watch out. 35% for now, and up to 65% of FUT Esports of those watching over at event.brawlstars.com with the polls. Just to throw a little spanner in the works, though. In the first round of the Snapdragon Pro Series, it was actually Now or Never, which did place FUT Esports into that lower bracket in the first available opportunity in a sweep. It wasn't a close match, it was a sweep. So Now or Never have already demonstrated themselves as a team which can get the win over a massive organization like FUT Esports. But the bans are in. Primo, I think it's a really wise ban there. I'll talk about why in a second. Penny and Stu on the other side of things. B, Crow, and Stu banned out for FUT Esports with a very early draft for Max. Surely OP going to be on that particular brawler. But the El Primo pick that Semantic brings to the table has time and time again proven to be a really dangerous thing. It's going to leave Ash open for both sides to consider here as we get through like the more safer ideas to start. But that is a very good awareness from Now or Never and a very specific ban for a very specific playstyle of the team that they are facing.
Yeah, I like the Bonnie here a decent amount. It's a fairly bush-heavy map, so I think the Bonnie with a speed gear will mitigate for that and just provide a little bit of an extra value for that Brawl and make it more viable in those circumstances. Otis paired with it as well will do phenomenally well at dealing with any sort of tanky or aggressive ideas that FUT might have in mind, as the mute can be quite a scary thing to face. And overall, Otis with massive amounts of damage is able to still do very well against pretty much any sort of brawlers thrown at him. So I like your approach. It's safe, but to be honest, it works, so I don't mind it.
Really do like the way that things are shaping up Now or Never, but these are all brawlers on the side of FUT Esports, which they would like to have had as well. It's a different kind of draft that I'm seeing unfold for Now or Never that I've been kind of used to seeing much more. Like they just love to pair the Max with everything else, but you know, Surge is such a dangerous thing, and I feel like FUT have got a good foot in the door so far with this one. What are they going to round up this comp with? That is the question. Could be potentially something like a Gene to be able to pair this together. They do need something that's going to be able to blend it. So the Max and the Surge are so aggressive, but some support wouldn't go amiss. Carl going to come in. Really like that. Taking a leaf out of the book of A&R, it seems. And that, to me, just feels like the stronger draft already. So I've got to feel like Now or Never, I've got to maybe bring out the RT, as it seems to be the go-to brawl in this particular region, Teddy. And it wouldn't be a bad one here in this particular scenario.
I wouldn't mind it. I actually wouldn't mind it. They have a couple more seconds to go for their pick. I like the synergy between the Surge and the Carl as well. You know, as Surge is one of those very dominant counters to Carl, and if you really want to enable your Carl to shine, you'll need to either ban out or pick the Surge for yourself. And they're gonna go Ems as their final pick. So not quite going for the RT, but Ems has been a brawler that's been strongly coming back into the meta, especially with unbreakable walls and the return of tanks at the forefront of it. I like the Ems and where it is right now in the meta, and it's not necessarily my favorite map to bring it out, but it can work here, and I feel like both drafts are somewhat decent, but as you said, I do kind of prefer FUT's draft just a little bit more as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Ems can surely cause a ruckus if you get right up into the face of your opposition spawn, and Poppy Super, got to have it, of course, to hand, and the walls don't necessarily cater to water, so I want to see some good pinching on the side of Now or Never, and as a very good start so far. It's a takedown there, and Drake tried to spawn back in, but Semantic falls shortly after here. OPE just desperately trying to gain the super off the back of this to be able to have some pushback potential. Now healing, which I think is a wise call, as Semantic does obtain a stack and will not give over any value there to Tomsy, as he came off the invulnerability, but pushing the ball through now. Slightly more, but yeah, scrutinized heavily by Tomsy and Lukey, who are doing a great job on this left-hand side at giving FUT at bay, and so far, it's looking much more favorable for Now or Never.
Dude, that's an incredible way to start here. 45 seconds in, Now or Never. A goal up and an incredibly dominant first fight. Let's see if they can repeat that success now. As the ball was pushed back to the center. Semantic aggressive, goes down, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. Lukey is next to go down, giving a bit of a man advantage here for FUT. We're not able to capitalize just yet, as Tomsy is gonna jump in, and Drake was a beautiful turnaround here to get that pickup and stay in the mix in the process, as Shiaku is very low HP as well, and FUT get the team wipe they need. Is that going to be enough to score, though? That's the real question.
Great push through OPE there with the goals as well to secure it. 1 minute on the clock, and a great moment there for FUT because they were under a great deal of pressure. Big speed coming in now, and now it's now or never, which look a bit shaky, to be honest. Tomsy, 4,000 HP as Luki does have the mute, and that could be a saving grace here. Now, things slowing down just a touch, and that's very crucial because that was dangerous. But there, we're very close to be able to score another. But Semantic getting the stack off the back of that interaction, so come back in pretty much as he left. Still, the aggressive lane continues on this left-hand side, and Zaku will get a pickup now. Drage is well out of position here. Pass through the ball, and this could well be the opening that now or never needed.
They have a lot of control now in the mid, and we're 15 seconds away from the map opening up. Unbreakable walls will stay up, though, which is a bit of a scary prospect, because now or never, they're very nicely positioned to go for a super shot there, using those walls as cover. Semantic and Shiaku trading each other out there. As overtime kicks in, Luki looking to use that mute immediately. Does get the connection onto Drage, but doesn't quite have the damage to take him down just yet. And max speed here is going to create quite a bit of pressure this time around in favor of FUT Esports, as they are close to the goal, but not quite close enough just yet.
It's a big scoring position here. I hope he gets super. Have more shots away. Surely is always going to need. Semantic there should be able to jump in on this ball and just secure it now or never. Really are in a bit of a pickle here. Trying to push it forward. Thompson jumps in with the mute on Semantic. Great synergy there, but it's OPE who's able to contest this situation. The left-hand side, Luki low. Drake coming from behind as well, and that should be able to secure the pitch they're needing. Wasn't that clean, though? OP is going to be trickling down as well as a result of that mute, and it's just not the kind of position in which they want to find themselves in now. The ball in the mid, I think both sides, unless they get some big takedowns or Tomsy gets a jump, probably be settling for a draw here. The speed coming in, the pass through Semantic, low HP, can't get the pass. Oh no! Oh! Was an absolute big brain play.
I thought it was a lovely idea. Now, the execution may not have been flawless, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's not quite going to be a goal. Early on into game number 2, technically a repeat of game number 1, I guess. Does seem like now or never getting pretty much just as good a start as they did in the previous one. Was full on mid control in their favor, just sitting behind those unbreakable walls now. This Drake will unlock his super, which might help him open up the situation if need be.
I've got to say, I'm really impressed with Zaku on this M's pick. He's really making it work against a tough match from the right-hand side. But look at this, OP left all alone. Nothing he can do against the 3 versus 1 on that left-hand side. Great stuff, and now whenever again, that early outset goal they want to have to keep the pressure on. Semantic does pop there, the power surge, and won't get too much value for it. OP on the right-hand side going in super aggressive on Zaku, but he stays alive. Drage, so in the meanwhile, on the left-hand side, should be able to walk this one in, and he does.
Both teams doing such a phenomenal job at punishing mistakes. Slightest placement mistake gets harshly punished by their opposition. This time around it is going to be favoring FUT as they even things out again. Seems like history repeats itself. If you look at game number 1, it was now or never was a quick goal, and FUT Esports quickly responding was a goal of their own. Just the same story now. But will the ending be any different? Or are we going all the way to overtime again as Drage finds a nice pickup onto Luki? A chance there maybe for Drage, but not quite gonna risk it. Would rather play it safe and hold on to their control.
Yeah, I felt the same. That was, for me, a bit of a goal opportunity, but I don't blame FUT for taking it slow and steady, but I don't know whether now or never other team to play that kind of play style up against. The mute is there onto Drage, which will keep him very low until the HP trickle down with the poison. Good shots there from Semantic. He needed to stay alive in that position there. They can just get the ball forwards a bit more now. Trying to get a landed shot onto Zaku, because he is the problem here, and he's creeping forwards as well. He's healing the entire time, now able to go super on the aggressive, and now or never in a pretty decent spot. They can get a pass ball through here. This could be a goal opportunity.
Yeah, the timing here is perfect for now or never. Super finds some nice value as well from Shiaku, resetting Semantic on the left-hand side, and the positioning is right. Looking at the super, goes for it. It's a risky angle, and it doesn't pay off, as FUT are able to catch the ball just in the nick of time and for now are still safe, as Tomzy does jump in onto the right side, finds a pickup, but that's pretty much where this push will end, as we're back in a 2-on-2 fight in the mid.
Oh my word, I thought that was maybe not the place to put it. To be honest, it was just too close to call. Maybe a bit more to the right would have been better, but now or never are in trouble. The pass through there to Semantic. Drage with the aggression, but it's Semantic's the one that goes down. They're fumbling it, but can OP get it? No! What a defense from now or never, or was it a bit of a misplace there from FUT? That's the question, but mistakes clearly on both sides here as the tension draws nearer. 15 seconds now on the clock.
Is it gonna be another draw? Or can either of the two teams find the opening they so desperately want? Drage was a nice pickup. Ope passes the ball up to Semantic. Semantic, yeah, this one is going in. Drage.
Take that game, but there's so little in it. I think that this will be one to go all the way to another game, but let's see how they play it out this time round. It's normally now or never we should get the first goal here in these early outset moments, as the utility needed on the side of FUT to defend takes a while to obtain, but OP now low. Semantic just, oh my word, eating up every ounce of that smoke, leaving just Drage alive here trying to contest the situation, but everyone from now and ever bunching together and just juking every shot that FUT have got to throw at them. It's really wonderful work to see.
Super pop by Shaku there, and Semantic is going to be a bit of a sitting duck. He's still alive for now, but eventually they do clear him out. Drage popping super as well, but just a little bit of a tough situation there as FUT early on struggling again, but it is all about the long run, which they were able to secure in the previous game. Semantic is going to fall again, and this is looking quite amazing for now or never. 2 kills, OP low HP, and staying away to not feed any more supers, as now or never lock in an early goal again, but a little bit slower than the previous ones, which does mean that FUT have less time to work with now.
Also, Drage doesn't win the left-hand side. Semantic really does need some stacks here. He's so slow and sluggish. He just needs to have a little bit of a break, but OPE there gets the takedown. Can't really champion this situation. Just thinking about it, maybe with the speed to hand, but was just too low in HP. And the ball now safely to the right-hand side from now or never. And they are able to keep it there. They have the lead. They just are able to defend this off this push for a little while longer. Zeku is in a tough spot. He needs to get super to be able to defend it realistically on the right-hand side. As now OP and Drage will contest from the left-hand side, pushing in hard. Tomzy jumps in, but the face shift there was strong from OPE. Pass through to Drage is there. Pinpoint accuracy from Semantic. But the pass-through is there as well. Bit of a risky one. Drage didn't want to walk it, but clearly things paid off and FUT will secure it.
I think the fake trick shot messed with their heads, you know. They didn't want to get trick shotted on, and I can respect that. Bit of a distraction there as he picked up a nice 2-piece. Drage low HP falls down though, and now or never should be able to close this one out.
Feeling himself to play this one out because it does feel so tense and fast-paced and energetic, but I love it. He's playing a great game so far, and now or never now tying up this set. It has been a long set, hasn't it? Let's be honest, with some draws along the way, but these are the crucial moments for both sides there, because Semantic really needs those stacks. Now or never really need their utility to be able to defend as the push comes in with the amount of speed that OP is packing. Now, good pressure onto Drage, forcing him back, and protective pirouette won't be enough to keep him up, but so far so good for now or never. As continue the aggressiveness here. OPE with a chance here, but great work from Lukey. But he's self-defended. Really? My word, he did well.
Wow, I thought that one was going in. I thought that surely that one would be going in.
100%
plays from Semantic, but Lukey able to stand strong. A little bit of a fumble, as you said, in the first game, as they nearly closed that one out. Let's see now if there's a chance for now or never to take the upper hand. No, Ope shuts down Tomzy. Semantic aggressive against Shaku, and he just barely finds the angle there as well. Nicely done. You complained about him being on the first stage for too long in the previous game, which was absolutely valid, but he's looking to turn that around quite nicely here in game 4.
Well, Semantic now, commanding position with those max stacks available, the speed and the range now, and just take down to Lukey. Surely here, a chance. Drage in a flying hook in, just goes smoothly aggressive, gets the takedown under there. Oh, beautiful team wipe there from FUT. There will score it. Lovely stuff from them. 45 seconds now for now or never to make a response. to have a chance to rekindle this set.
And on a lot of time here for Now or Never to work with. That was a draining set already. Between the first draw and the second game still going till the last second of overtime. It's a long opening set, and Now or Never, it seems like they aren't quite as good with stamina as FUT Esports are, as they are holding firmly in a defensive position. Ope gets the ball away, is forced to gadget away as well from Shaku Super. Kill there as well, make it a double. Tumsy is low HP, and surely FUT Esports will be closing out this first set with a nice 2-1 score.
Brawlstars.com on to FUT Esports to take this one. Again, a team that we didn't see last month in the monthly finals, as they didn't qualify, but are back this time round to make their mark, and they do need to get a victory here for that same reason. But Canal Grande and Bounty, and obviously a very worthy opposition that they are facing to be able to go up against, Now or Never did appear in the February monthly finals, so it's really up to FUT to get ahead of the game here. And we've seen this from them before, going with Barley here. They do really quite favor this particular brawler on this map. I do prefer the call pick myself from Now or Never. That'll be a very easy blue star to obtain quickly. And the bans being Penny there, Max, Janet, as well as the Squeak, Eve, and Tick. I don't know how I feel about this Barley pick from FUT. I've seen it work out sometimes, but it's definitely a very kind of bold idea to go with the first pick of this map. Sprout coming in from Now or Never, which I think I kind of prefer a little bit more. You can just get a lot of choke points on this particular map, and can also break a lot of the bush. And that will be a key thing for Now or Never to be able to see what's lying in wait. But Sandy, I actually quite rate it. I kind of rate it. It's not the one that everyone thinks about playing, and of course, the El Primo coming in as the smile of Semantic Space was indicating that they had something up their sleeve.
Yeah, very interesting things happening all around, because, as you said, I was about to say the exact same thing. If you had thrown at me, I would have said, I don't mind the Barley, but I probably would have valued Sprout over that pick. And now with the Primo as well coming in, and the Sandy, that's a pretty crazy draft here from FUT Esports. And to be fair, Primo is in a pretty good place all around. He just deals well with a lot of tankier ideas. We'll see Ems as the final pick from Now or Never, which I don't know if that's going to be enough to shut down the Primo. It might very much be, but this is a very interesting draft, and also one that's really hard to read and to, call who has the upper hand in this sort of situation.
Kanan will be subbing in for Tomsy on this particular match, as players and teams can now do, which I think is a great addition to the BSC. Be able to try to bring back an advantage into your favor. I do love the way that Zeku was playing the Ems in the last set. So if it's him again on the Ems, then I'm kind of all for it. And it's very much a kind of more APAC regional idea to have Ems on this particular map. But against the Primo, I think it makes a lot of sense. And it is going to be Zeku on that Ems. And already the whole of Now or Never all congregating together to ensure that takedown to Semantic to give themselves an early lead.
Nicely done by Now or Never. Semantic jumping in, though. Shaku is gonna go down. Kanan also low HP, and Ope is gonna be able to get that pickup. Still, it's gonna be 3 stars in favor of Now or Never for the time being, as FUT Esports do have a massive amount of control for the time being as well. And Semantic jumps in. That's a beautiful kill there for FUT Esports, and we had our doubts on the Barley, but early on he's already sitting on 5 stars on top of his head.
Yeah, but they've got to ensure that Now or Never stay on this left-hand side, because Semantic needs those bushes. On the right-hand side is completely open, so they're probably going to try and force it now to the right and give themselves that kind of favorable matchup there. But it is starting to show legs on this side of the comp for FUT Esports. There's a big wall there from Lukey. That will try to break things open. See the crossover, very important to do so as well. But look how much area denial FUT are managing to get. Now they've got the high ground and the lead. This could be much more in their favor. Kanan trying to go in, or considering to do so on the right-hand side, but it should be Drake gets the pick up. He does. 15 stars now to the 8, and FUT are already starting to make things work.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now or Never had a really good start, but FUT Esports now was nearly double their stars. Kanan going in aggressively, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get even a single pickup there. Wow. As he does find Ope, Semantic gets the trade, and Kanan, there's no chance for him to get out of that position. Ope will be the one to take him down, and it's still 6 stars in favor of FUT. Make it 8 now as Semantic finds a follow-up, and I have to say, this is looking quite incredible for FUT Esports. So much aggression was their comp, and
shout out to OPE because he was just keeping so much control, cycling supers, really keeping Now or Never exactly where they needed them the entirety of that game. And here we go again, Samantha just trying to force his way forwards. It's like that's almost the strategy for now for Esports there, just trying to earn his super by going down, and they're happy to kind of do so. It's a bit of a risky idea, but it did pay off in the last game. Will it pay off this time around though?
With Esports, they really want to lock in a second set already. This is on paper quite a closely matched encounter as Semantic jumps in. Is that enough to take down Kanan? He does take him down with the fire from his start power, but ever so barely. Semantic himself is going to be falling as well, and so far it's a very different story as Shaco has been able to shine so much more. It was Ope that shined through the first part of game 1, and now it's Shaku already with 6 stars to his name, and Semantic will be able to find a 1 there onto Luki. As the wall breaks open, Shaku just finds another. He will go down eventually, and that closes the gap as Kanan goes for a bit of a kamikaze play, and it's only 3 stars now. Make it only 1 star in favor of Now or Never.
What a turnaround. This is huge. With 40 seconds on the clock, there's plenty of time as well. OP's going to be a little bit cautious. He's got 4 stars above his head, keeping his range. Nicely done. But 1 super from Semantic, 1 jump in at the final moment, and it could be all over here. And the second set going the way of FUT. 25 seconds now. Big push coming in. OP gets super. Zeku's very low here. He might go down. He does. What a turnaround. 20 stars and the blue star. FUT can retreat.
Final chance here for Now or Never if they want to contest this second set. Otherwise, it's going to be FUT Esports that run away with it. Despite a phenomenal start to the game, it looks like it might be just that situation. Shaku goes for a final asset when you're doing really well and you can, kind of steamroll with the momentum you built up. But it can also be scary if things start going wrong, especially as you get closer to the finish line and, you're already starting to feel a little bit of relief because you are 2 sets up. And that's when you get striked by, the Colt against SK Gaming and Heist, and things start to really go sideways. And I'm not wishing that upon them, but I wouldn't eliminate the thought as well, as Gem Grab is a game where that can be very volatile as well. The right gene pool or the right flank and what is a commanding lead in gems can quickly become a counter for your position.
Okay, let's do the Sandy bans there from Now or Never. It's kind of interesting to see Sandy being banned now, but it has been the case a little bit more recently since that favorable buff. Just bringing Sandy a bit more into life in the BSC. It's great to see. Bans on the side of FUT with Crow, Squeak, and Otis. And their first priority was getting that penny pick. Interesting for me because it's not the max, and that's what Now or Never going to pick up instead. And it's one that they play really, really well. But it does feel like I've got a bit of a game plan here. Pam going to add to the equation on the side of Now or Never. It's a great lane to have, absolutely so. Vision Gear too, able to really bring that particular brawler into life and keep everyone on your team all knowing as to where your opposition lies in weight. But an Amber could change that on the side of FUT Esports if they want to try to break open that possibility. We've seen some great spike plays as well from Semantic recently, and some tankier ideas as well coming to the table. Sam's still here as well. Ash, don't forget that. We'll see though. They want to choose Colette. Probably Drage on Colette. Been playing a lot of that one particular brawler recently, and does tend to be one of those moments where he can turn the tide and be going to come in for FUT. They want to go for defensive measure, which makes sense considering the nature of the draft and the orderings here. They want to prepare for a tank and not be able to be countered by the ideas on the side of Now or Never.
Yeah, I like to be here as well. I think it can be quite a dominant force if played well. We're never gonna have to be extra careful with their final pick because it might very well be their final pick of the entire monthly fair if they don't do well, and they're gonna go for Byron, which honestly, I haven't seen here in like over years, so I don't know what to expect from it. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'll be honest. Well, no, I do. I don't like it. It's double swoosh. I was a bit on the fence around it when we saw FUT Esports playing this alongside the Leon and the Jean in Shooting Star, but they really demonstrated that it works. But that is a very different map. This is not that. Sure, the tick over time is going to, shove your opposition in the bush, no doubt about it. But, it's definitely not a Brawl that I would ever really associate with this particular map. And it just seems like maybe that B draft really threw them off and they just wanted to go for somewhat of a safer idea. But let's see, I'm open to it. I mean, it's Zaku on it, and that makes me feel confident around the idea. So more often than not, now I never seem to have a game plan, a strategy in mind when it comes to the ideas that they implement in their draft. So I'm open to it. So far, it's 3 gems, and already Zaku gets to pick up there onto Drage, and in the process, he loses the gotcha gadget as well. So 1 less for Drage, and much better amount of control there for now and ever.
Pretty decent start for them, all things considered. Drage was a beautiful super, and actually the poison will take him down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade on the left-hand side. Considering that he used his super, it means that value might be slightly favorable for now or never in that encounter. However, gem-wise, it's going to be a 1-gem lead for FUT Esports for the time being. As the next one spawns on their side as well, they could extend that furthermore. Kanan will see if he's daring to go that aggressive. Not quite, as Ope will be the one to pick it up, and Semantic can just chill behind his gadget as Tomzy has no way to easily dispatch of it, and eventually a pinch there very nicely timed to take Tomzy down and relieve even more pressure. Drage not quite able to go for the gem he wanted there, and doesn't find a connection onto Kanan either. Still fairly even, but for the Esports was just a little bit of the edge.
Just a bit there. Tomzy very low though. Semantic even lower. Drage on the left-hand side, just cycling with the gotcha gadget, but does eventually go down, but the gems are dropped. Zart's for stuff, but Tomzy goes in the aggression here. If Semantic can just close the gap here, gets 1 for the pickup, that's enough for a countdown. They might still need to contest this mid, and everyone's still healing on the side of FUT. There's a huge potential here for a turnaround here for now or never, but not maybe now. On the right-hand side, the takedown is there, and Tomzy is all over the place, getting tapped up by Semantic. I don't see it happening. FUT are hanging on and moving on to match point.
But they stole 1 gem. FUT stole 1 gem from now or never, which meant that they did not have time for gem number 10 to spawn and even things out. It was very nicely done there by FUT Esports, and that means that now they're locking in 2 match points, and now or never, there's no more room for mistakes anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely unlike now or never, to be honest. Looking back at the Snapdragon Pro Series where they got that sweep over FUT Esports in the upper bracket, and today it's like the favors being returned, isn't it? Pushing forwards now, our FUT. Semantic there with the honey molasses onto Tomzy, and there's a nice idea, but he is forced back. Forced second, in fact, to try to stay alive, and he does so. In the meanwhile, Drage loses lane again, and that will push Zaku forwards, and a nice cut through there. Will connect with OPE, slow down his healing, and keep him out of the mix just for a little bit longer. But despite that reload buff that Byron received, it was, I think, from 1,600 down to 1,450. It just doesn't seem to be cutting it for me, and there's 7 gems down to pocket for FUT.
I understand now as well why they're going for the Byron, because yes, it did get buffed, so it's not nearly as bad as it once was. And so far, I wouldn't say it's necessarily what's letting now or never down, to be honest. But I think that from the top of my head, Shaku's favorite brawler was Byron, and it was one of the brawlers he used to play the most last year. So it's not that shocking to see him rocking it now as well, that it did get buffed up a little bit. It is still going to be...
Byron made the swapping lanes now.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision from now or never. And there is a counter for FUT, so either way, they need to find an opening now. Semantic does fall, but that's not going to be nearly enough as Kanan is 1 shot as well. And FUT Esports surely should be locking in this countdown.
Yeah, I think they're locking in the entire series, to be completely honest. Drage, though, is low, but he's not going to be out. He's not relevant.